Can you imagine how helpful it would be if we could teach children, or adults, for that matter, everything that they needed to know simply by grinding up a bunch of books? Sure, the internet pretty much grants us access to the entirety of human knowledge, but it can't feed it all directly into our brains. 2. It wasn't that long ago that we were promised flying cars, but people living in the last century took it a step further by imagining flying taxis. It makes you wonder how exactly one would hail an aerocab from the ground. Unfortunately, that's a question for another day. It looks it's still going to be a long time from now before our current cars leave the ground. 3. Speaking of flying cars, how about flying fugitives? Folks evidently thought that, in the future, police officers would be able to pursue criminals through the air. Of course, the bad guys would be airborne as well, so apparently it would be a relatively even playing field. 4. If police officers could have huge, functional, Da Vinci-like wings, then so should firefighters. This might be a good idea for modern times. Buildings will probably be much taller in the future, so we should be prepared for any and all emergencies. 5. While farming has certainly become more technologically advanced in the past century, we haven't quite gotten to the point yet where a single farmer can perform all of a farm's operations from the comfort of his own porch. 6. Though we do have submarines, nothing could match the appeal of an underwater school bus powered by a tamed whale. Still, it would seem unfair to the whales to put them to work like that. Thankfully, actual technology has rendered them unnecessary for such a vehicle. 7. Apparently, the kids of the future would entertain themselves with a croquet party at the bottom of the ocean. How would the physics work for something like this? It just seems like more trouble than it's worth, especially when you can, presumably, still play croquet on land. 8. The notion that entire towns could be transported from place to place through the power of an ordinary freight train certainly sounds helpful. 9. While it might be cool to be able to walk on water like a certain famous Nazarene, it doesn't seem like this illustrator thought things through. Not even a pair of wooden skis would keep those long skirts and slacks from getting soaked. 10. A roof over a whole city seems like a great idea for about a millisecond before you realize how disastrous it really is.